Hello, Chamberlain team. This is Christoph with Kaiserworks presenting the Beadle. We're looking today at the first floor. The prior plan that we had was a shared first floor workspace, and we've gone to a floor plan that has 4 individual suites that I'll walk you through, and each of those suites share a reception area lounge, which comprises the lobby, and then we have a conference room that's also shared by each of these suites. If you recall on the previous plan, and as is existing currently on site, we have ADA parking right here at the corner of the building. Um, and if you also recall, we can't take away any of the existing parking that we have. So if we're going to move, or if we're going to lose a parking space, we have to move it somewhere else. And we've actually found one location right here at the at the north end of the property that we can put one ADA parking space. And I think that does a lot for our street visibility. We feel like this corner right here is going to be the primary face of the building as a whole. If you are a tenant in one of these suites down here, then this does become sort of a secondary face to the project. But for the project as a whole, we feel that the southwest corner is going to be sort of the main face and the sort of the money shot. If you're going to take one picture that tells the story of the building, it's going to be from this perspective over here. So getting that parking space out of there was key. We feel it does a lot to make this feel like a much more generous reception area. And it also increases the amount of sort of blurring the lines is what we're trying to do here, where the conference room, it is essentially a glass box that sits underneath of this larger volume. This dotted line here, this dashed line, is the footprint of the second and third floor going all the way around the building. We're setting this glass box substantially inboard, which is going to help us with our heat gain on the glass. So when we go to do energy calcs, this is significantly going to help those numbers. But more than that, it really lets that upper second and third floor float like we want it to. And it secondarily helps dematerialize the first floor rather than have, option one would be you have glass right at the line of the other building, and that does nothing to help aesthetically float the second and third floor. Stepping it back like we had previously, 24 inches, helps that somewhat, but it's a little bit of a nominal effort. And what we're doing now is actually letting the rooms be defined, and really just in a few cases. And I think that's all you need to really pull off this aesthetic. But the end result is one that if you're inside the conference room, you feel very much like you're in the garden that sits in front of the building. This landscape, by the way, does go beyond this line. We're not showing anything that's in the site plan in this plan currently, but you'd be sitting in the conference room, and these, waist height grasses or desert greens will extend all the way to the street. And so you've got a sort of a visual buffer between you and the cars, and you're in this jewel box that's very much on display, and we feel is going to be very much part of the quote unquote business card of this building. As people are driving by, they're looking across these grasses to a conference table, to additional desert planting here, and then a reception desk, and then the wall beyond. So there's a nice amount of layering. That is something that we were trying to achieve. Coming over here to the west, walking through that through that grass area to a 5-foot wide pivot door, you come into the reception desk. We're seeing this as a very dramatic, probably a massive timber or something like that as a desk. We haven't really gotten into materiality yet, but we're suggesting a very punchy materiality that comes across this entire back surface. We've actually talked about a mirrored surface as the core, and how dramatic that would be if you're out on Thomas looking at the building, looking through these different layers of transparency, and then you see cars passing in the reflection of the street at the core. So that's one option that would further help dematerialize this first floor and let the building really float, would be a reflective skin on that core as one option. And another option is just a very strong punchy graphic that could wrap that core. So coming past the reception desk, you can turn hard right into this conference room, which can be checked out by any one of these 4 suites. Or you can come to the lounge, hang out in this common lounge area. Heading from the lounge, you can head north to bathroom number 1 and continue on to bathroom number 2. And the north entry on this side, this is our intention, or our thinking is that people that know this building, that come here every day, will be using this more frequently, and this is going to be more for people that are first-time First-time visitors simply because it really calls your attention, feels like an entry, has a lot of transparency. You can see where you're going. You can see that reception desk from outside the building. And if you've found your way instead to North Entry A, you would be coming in that North Entry to this point here, and you're also going to have line of sight to that reception area, and they will send you on your way. So I'll start with the individual suites with Suite A at the northwest corner of the building. Walking through this front door, we have a small group table or work table slash conference table. There's an executive suite directly on the right, another one just beyond that, and then walking further into the space, we have 4 workstations, small kitchenette tucked back here, and one small lounge chair with a coffee table just off to the side of that. This suite is 1,087 square feet. Next, I'm going to go to Suite B. Suite B is our second smallest suite. We're showing 4 workstations that are tucked up here on the north end of Suite B. This is probably a translucent piece of glass, could also be a molded glass piece that basically, instead of being translucent, it just distorts the view to the north here. This here again, we're looking at different options here, but this is going to be either clear glass with a curtain that stacks on one side, or it's going to be a frosted piece of glass to give you privacy between anyone that's hanging out in the lounge and the suite. Coming into the suite here, we have a little corner pocket lounge spot. Again, we're contending with these columns that exist throughout the project. Common work table slash sort of internal conference room table, and then we have the 4 workstations and some storage. Here again, we feel that exposing this glass corner and letting it be fairly vacant is really the key. I think this could also be the corner where you have a nice chair and a lamp situated. But the idea is that as people are viewing the building, and when we go to photograph the building, you're looking through what feels like a very nice furniture showroom, or a very nice, just a very generous, luxurious lobby with a lot of openness and space. So we feel like this sort of openness is required when you have density like we're showing in some of these suites. Going to Suite C, this is 945 square feet total. We have these 3 workstations here, small group table here. This could be kitchenette that wraps into this corner. And then to the south of that, we have 2 executive suites. Suite D just above is our smallest at 563 square feet. If you've parked on the east side of the building, you can come directly into your suite. This is also true of Suite C. You can come directly into your suite. You could pass straight through, go to the reception desk, go to the restroom, come back. And here we have 2 executive offices, and then we have these 3 workstations along the wall, full height storage, small kitchenette tucked into that corner. And apart from that, the plan is familiar to you. We have our stairs located here, our existing utility room that's going to remain, another utility room here, and then these 2 bathrooms. We have done some work here to change the entry configuration. This is a common entry, so anyone can come through this door. And then at this point here, you'd be walking into Suite A. So there would be graphic signage here for Suite A. Coming in this entry door here would bring you obviously through a different route to the main reception area. So we look forward to your thoughts on this. Thank you.